And greetings everyone, it's time for another flashlight review from Lights and Gear, and this is a very nondescript box. There's not much you're going to make out of the flashlight that's inside by looking at this outside of a barcode. But however, inside the box is the flashlight we're going to talk about today, and this is the Sofirn C8A. And inside the box here we have the necessary equipment. First of all, you have quite a large user manual here. It's quite amazing how they actually stuffed this in the tiny box. And as with most Sofirn user manuals, it does have a picture of the light, but doesn't actually describe what it is on the front of the manual. Although it does say down here that it has a maximum lumen rating of 1747. So that being said, that's about all they give you as far as naming it. However, it does come in 2 languages on the other side here, just like that. Actually, it is this side, which I do stand corrected on, which actually does say C8A, and this being the foreign language version side. Actually, this appears to be German. So, that's the side that actually tells you what the flashlight is. But we're going to tell you in English, and I'm going to show you what else is in the box here before we get to the rest of that. It's not a USB rechargeable light, but it does come with a USB, micro USB charging cable, and that's because they give you the little tiny charger here, which is just room enough for one 18650 battery to fit into. So this is USB rechargeable, as you can see right there. So this is good for traveling or taking in the car. Now, it's a very simple charger. When you do put the battery in this charger, of course it goes in this way, plus side up, and the little LED light here illuminates in red, and then it will go green, change to green, when the charge is finished. Now, they do include the 18650 battery along with the light, and that is inside the light when you get it. Here is a little packet of accessories, so there are a couple of spare O-rings here and a very simple nondescript lanyard. Here's the flashlight, and I'll show you the battery in a minute. The battery is not in the flashlight nor in the box at the moment because I actually have it charging. So I'll show you that in a second here. But the flashlight comes in bubble wrap, as you've already seen. And here it is with a very wide head. This is about 1.7 inches wide at the head end here, and it's about 5.5 inches long total. So here's your name right here, Sofirn C8A. It has a clicky switch on the back. It's not tactical, so it does not have momentary on as far as that part's concerned, but it does tail stand very well. Has a little bit of a beveled edge here, and the lens is clear toughened glass. You can actually take the lens off here. And here out pops your reflector, and at least the glass is still inside the head there. And you do have an O-ring inside the head. But here's the reflector, here's the LED, which is actually a CREE, even though it doesn't say so. It's a CREE XP-L2. So it does put off good lighting, and the reflector is pretty good there. Smooth, of course, to maximize the throw. Throw distance is about 200 meters. It is waterproof to IPX8, meaning it can be submerged for 30 minutes at up to 2 meters in depth. It's of a very simple design, very easy to operate. Now, I already showed you the charging cable, the manual. Here's the battery, and I have it charging, as I've said. Here's the battery right here, 18650, 3000 mAh. And I have it in my little MyBoxer charger, which I happen to like very much. The thing is, I put this in a long time ago, and it's still charging. It's been going for hours, and the reason being that this charger is charging it at a very slow rate, at only 0.10. So it's been charging very slowly, and that almost seems to be something with the Sofirn batteries, because I reviewed another Sofirn light which came with a battery, and it did the same thing with that one too. It charged it extremely slowly. So if that says anything about the battery, for which I'm not sure of, it might. But I mean, it does charge it up to its capacity, and that's what I'm doing here, is testing the capacity of the battery just to make certain that it is 3000 mAh or reasonably close. I did drain it down to about 2.8 before I charged it, and it does appear to have a protection circuit, which is the other test I was doing on it, just to make sure that it was a protected battery, and it does appear to be. So again, we put in 756 mAh so far on this, and as you can see, it's up to 401 volts. So it has a little ways to go, 48 minutes according to the charger here. It'll probably take a little bit more than that, 81% charged, but what I can do is put the final analysis in the comments section of the video once it's done. Anyway, that's the battery, and it comes inside the flashlight protected when you first receive it. So the flashlight has two different operating modes, or two different groups as they call it. Group 1, which is what it was already set to, has low, medium, and high, and then a strobe mode, low being 90, medium at about 595, high at 1747, or thereabouts. You know, they're never usually quite exact. And strobe mode at 1050. No SOS on group 1, but there is SOS on group 2. And group 2 features a moonlight mode at 1 lumen, and then 90, 595, and 1050. So for some unknown reason on group 2, they've knocked down the high mode by just a tad. But I think if you had them side by side with the two high modes, you know, if you took a picture side by side, I don't think you'd see much of any difference. If you did, it would be very, very slight. So I think you're probably good with either. As you can see here, throwing distance is 200 meters, beam intensity, impact resistant to a meter, and so forth. It does have the XP-L2 LED, and a little bit more information here. Aircraft grade aluminum, of course, toughened glass on the lens, IPX, and so forth. It also has a low battery warning, and the low battery signal is when the light slowly flashes for 1 minute, and then I believe it cuts off when the voltage is lower than 2.8. It just shuts down, which is what I experienced last night. And so with changing the modes, it took me a couple of moments to actually figure it out, because they say, or not the modes, but the groups. When they say when you're in the one group and you want to change to the other group, you have to click 3 times continuously, but it's not a click. All you do is half press the switch very quickly 3 times, and then it flashes, and then it's in the next group. So clicking is not necessary, as it indicates in the manual. So very simple, of course, to operate with 1 click. And right now it does have mode memory, so it'll stay in the last mode. Let me turn off the light here. Right now, okay, so this is group 2 that I'm in right now, because I have a moonlight mode going on. I do not have moonlight in group 1. So this is group 2 with the moonlight. And if you can see here, it's obviously good for very dark and close illumination. So there's moonlight, half click, and here's low, and here's medium, and here's high. So it's pretty bright, and with the XP-L LED, it has a very clear center spot, which is very bright and reasonably concentrated. It's not too much of a spotlight, but it's certainly not flood. So I think it has a pretty good ratio here. As always, you can check out my written review at lightsandgear.com and take a look at the outdoor beam shots that I took with it. It illuminates trees from across the street very well, and it gets out there reasonably good. So you can check out those pictures on my written review. Again, this is high, and then if I click it again, it will go into the strobe mode. I don't mean strobe, I mean SOS. It's in SOS right now. And then if I click it again, it'll go right back down to moonlight. There is no instant access to any particular mode. There's no instant access to the lowest, to the highest, or to strobe, or SOS. You just have to keep clicking through, as you would with a budget flashlight, in order to get to the flashing modes. Now, as I say, if I want to change the groups, I have to press or half press the button very quickly 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then it flashes like that. It goes up to the highest mode, and then if I press it again, I'm back to low. So now moonlight has disappeared because I'm in group number... anyway, this is the other group. I think, yeah, this is actually group 1. I started in group 2, and this is group 1. So group 1 has low, medium, and high. And high is very, very bright. As I say, I haven't actually matched it side to side with the high from the second group. So I'm not sure how much brighter it is, but I wouldn't think it would be that much brighter to really notice it that much. Could be wrong, but in either event, it is very, very bright, especially inside and pointed against a white wall. So if I press it again from here, it just goes back down to low. Now the way to get to the flashing mode in this group is by double-clicking quickly. A half double click, and then I get into the variable strobe. So strobe is in this group, and SOS is in the other group. So those are the modes, and those are the groups, and that is how you change from one group to the other. It also says in the manual that this LED is a neutral white, and it does give the color temperature of around 5500. So I guess it seems neutral white, although I had forgotten about that when I started using it, and wasn't really aware at first that it was supposed to be neutral white, but I guess it is. I mean, it's not exactly a cool white, I guess, and it's not a warm white, but I guess compared to other neutral white or same color temperature flashlights, that it could be within that range to be thought of as neutral white. But anyway, I mean, it's a pretty nice flashlight, and for the price, you really can't go too wrong with it. Sofirn has so far proven to be a reasonably good brand. I mean, they are a lower cost brand, of course, than some of your other lights, and they're certainly not budget oriented as much to be put in that category, since they do have quality components and a nice glass lens and so forth. So they have quality parts put in these flashlights, even though the features are pretty basic, so it doesn't give you a whole lot of fanciness there. Let me undo the cap, since we actually haven't done that yet. So there is your spring in the cap, and the battery. I have the other I have a different battery in here now, obviously, since the battery it came with is still charging, and you do have a spring up inside the tube there as well. So I put Sofirn, up there to be at least in competition with some of the higher priced lights. And if you want to check out my written review, of course, at lightsandgear.com, you will see the outdoor shots and see some pictures of it and so forth and so on. But do check out the outdoor pictures at lightsandgear.com. There's also a link there. It was supplied by my friends at Sofirn, and you can pick one of these up at Amazon at a very tasty price. And there's a link below for that, and within my written review as well. Do thank you for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. The Sofirn C8A was on display today, and we'll see you next time with more from Lights and Gear. Take it easy.